We might not be able to travel this year, but that doesn't mean we can't enjoy a bit of virtual traveling. For this bullet journal theme, I used my own travel stickers, which are available in my Etsy shop. I also found an amazing atlas in a thrift shop a while back. I was so excited when I found it, because I knew I wanted to do a traveling theme for my bullet journal at some point. It took me a while to actually make it, but I thought that this month would be perfect for it. June is usually my favorite month for traveling. In most European cities, it is not too hot, but definitely summery. Last year, my husband and I didn't go on a holiday because we moved across the country and had a lot of renovating to do. This year I wanted to go to Belgium, but I think that won't happen anytime soon. We will probably rent a little holiday home in the Netherlands, where I live, hopefully somewhere in the woods. I think it would be so much fun to take Izzy on a little holiday with us. Going for long walks, playing some board games outside, reading a good book in the sun, and of course eating a lot of good plant-based food. Even talking about it makes me so excited. I don't know about you all, but I am definitely in a mood for a change of scenery. The map that I'm using here is from Scandinavia. On the left side of the page you can see a little piece of Norway, and if you look closely you can see some of the places that I visited, like Bergen and Stavanger. I hope I pronounced it right. I've also been to Oslo and Moss. Norway has beautiful mountains, forests and waterfalls. I've also been to Sweden a couple of times, because I actually have family that live there. Sweden is also very beautiful and peaceful. I loved going for walks and swimming in the lake. So, when we are allowed to travel again, where would you like to go? After I created my collage border, I used some Crayola Super Tips and Tombow pens for the top of the calendar. Like always, I used my little stamping kit from Søstrene Grene, which is actually a Scandinavian brand. It's always a bit of a hustle to use these, but I love the finished look so much that I always go for it. Next up is my habit and mood tracker spread. With the same map paper and washi tape, I created a top border for both pages. The stamps that I use here are a bit bigger and easier to use. They are from Amazon and definitely one of my must-have stationery purchases. This is not sponsored, I wish, but they are so good, so I wanted to mention that. For the labels of the habits, I use the borders of the map, so you can use everything of that paper that you use. Beneath each habit, I write down a little calendar of the month June. So whenever I do a habit that day, I can mark the date. This gives a very nice overview at the end of the month. For my mood tracker, I wanted to try something completely different from what I normally do. I've seen this idea a couple of times of using a circle that you can color in according to your mood. I thought that this circle shape would be perfect to turn into a compass. As you can see, I didn't really go for an accurate one, and I thought it would be quite simple, but it wasn't. I didn't have any stencil for this one, or one of those math thingies I used 15 years ago, so I did it by hand. It turned out a little bit wonky, but that's okay. If you have any suggestions how I can map this all out better next time, please leave a comment. You can always use a picture for reference when you draw something like this, but I just wanted to create something fairly quick and easy. If I would use a picture for reference, I would get lost in details and try to make everything look so perfect and realistic as possible. So for me, it is sometimes easier to just doodle and not overthink it. With my watercolor from Arteza, I colored in some parts of the compass, and I also used just a regular pencil to create more details, so it gives it a little bit more depth. Also, you can number the days of the month, but I chose to leave it empty. I actually made too many blank spaces here, 32 instead of 30 to be exact. So by not using any numbers here, it is less noticeable. At the bottom of the page, I made a little agenda for my moods. I went for happy, okay, sad, and anxious. For my colors, I like to use a color scheme that will complement the whole page. So I went for some blues and greens like the colors of the sea that you can see on the map. On to the first weekly spread. I find it the easiest to start my collage borders in a corner. After that, I go to the other corner, and from there I try to connect the two, if that makes sense. By layering different textures and patterns with paper and washi tape and stickers, you can achieve that collage look. I personally love how it's such an intuitive process. You never know how it's going to turn out exactly, which makes it all the more fun in my opinion. I don't see a lot of people using this collage method in their journals. So how would you describe your bullet journal style? I often see doodle or minimalistic pages more often, or on the opposite side, complete paintings, which is also really cool. I like to keep my journal creative yet functional. It's a planner as well as a work of art. That is the amazing thing about bullet journaling. You can do and make whatever you want and need. So that was it for my journal spreads for June. Let me know in the comments what your theme for this month is. Subscribe if you don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos. You can like this video if you liked it, and I hope to see you next time.